to tackle the step 4, which is construct a working case definition. So this is a set of criteria needed to classify an individual as having the disease or not. So for case definition, a standard set of criteria is used. So by using the criteria, it can be determined whether the individual can be classified as having a disease that fits into the condition that the investigator is looking for. So the case definition needs to be simple and practical and should include the clinical criteria within the following components. So the case definition is a standard set of criteria for deciding whether an individual should be classified as having the health condition of interest. And a case definition includes clinical criteria, and particularly in the setting of an outbreak investigation, restrictions by time, place, and person. So as what I have mentioned earlier, there are 3 restrictions, which are time, place, and person. So a restriction by time, it is defined a period of time during which cases of diseases are considered to be associated with the outbreak. So it is the beginning of the outbreak period. Then second is a restriction by place. So it is a location or the countries being affected. And the third one is a restriction by person. So a restriction by person means it is a person or affected population. So for example, in this kaning ikaduha nga slide, which is the trends of new cases. So naa diari ang restrictions of by time, which is na ay day 1 January 22 until March 14. So mo ni siya ang restriction by time, which is it is the beginning of the outbreak period. Then the next column mo na siya ang restriction by person, which is affected population. Then next slide. So kadtong persons na affected population, so mao to sila ang mga gapuyo sa affected nga countries, which are the China, Italy, and Iran. Then by the way, sa restriction by person, you can include age, gender, and other relevant personal characteristics like economic status. Then aside from this, investigators uses 3 categories of definition cases, which are confirmed, probable case, and possible case. So when we say a confirmed case, it have a positive laboratory result. So for example, a person with a laboratory confirmation of virus causing COVID-19 infection irrespective of clinical signs and symptoms. So nakitaan na siya og positive result since ang laboratory result is a positive. The next is probable case. So when we say probable case, it have the typical clinical features of the disease and whose swab test results are either inconclusive or pending. So for example, a suspect case for worm testing for the COVID-19 virus is inconclusive. So kanang wala pa result if wala evidence nga kana nga person or kana nga patient is ga positive siya sa COVID-19, or ang result ba is pending pa, wala pa nila gi-asikaso. Then the next one is the possible case. So a possible case, so mo na siya ang suspected nga daghan ang nakita nga clinical features like mga symptoms. For example, if that patient having been contact with a confirmed COVID-19 case in the last 14 days, then nakitaan siya og symptoms like cough, fever, and hard to breathe. So the investigator would makaingon ang investigator nga that person kay positive sa COVID-19 even though wala pa kanang result. So a case may be initially classified as probable or possible cases when the laboratory findings are still not available. So if dili pa available ang confirmed case kay wala pa result, that's why the investigators uses the probable and possible cases. So now that I have already tackled the step 4, then the step 5 will be discussed by Ms. Cabillas.